Coming up on Small Town Big Deal, meet a family that took a big risk to try to save their dairy farm.
It was betting the family farm, no question about it.
Rodney wanted to teach me how to milk a cow, but it quickly turned into utter madness. And later,
where is Rodney? Rodney!
Join us at a party that is sure to wake up the neighbors and where whining is encouraged.
Welcome to Small Town Big Deal.
We've traveled across the country and firmly believe that the people in small towns are the hands that keep America strong.
So join us, Rodney Miller,
and Jann Carl,
as we show you the great things these people do on Small Town Big Deal. Hi, I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jann Carl.
And welcome to Small Town Big Deal. You know, we're going to show you how old school is now new again.
That's right. It's all happening right here at the Shatto family farm. It's in Osborn, Missouri. Population 422.
And it's just about 45 miles northeast of Kansas City.
You have to travel on some long, quiet country roads to find the 400-acre Shatto homestead.
And at first glance, it seems like a pretty typical dairy farm.
But what the Shatto family has done over the last decade is anything but typical.
Meet Leroy Shatto. He's called the man who made milk fun again.
It's easy to see how he got that title when you taste the flavors he's created.
Okay, the first one's gonna be banana milk, okay? This is the Orange Dream. It actually tastes like Fruit Loops.
It's good.
Okay, strawberry, tastes like strawberry.
Say good milk.
Okay, root beer. Root beer, lady. You guys, cotton candy? You like chocolate? That's my favorite. Did anybody like the cotton candy? Was that kind of crazy? Which is your favorite? All of them. Oh, yes.
Well, it hasn't always been so cheerful here on the Shatto farm.
Barbara is Leroy's wife, and the farm has been in her family for over 100 years. It's truly a part of her heart and soul, but there was a time she thought they might lose it all.
Tell me about the 90s and the challenges you faced on the dairy farm here.
Actually, they were really very bleak. In the 90s, the milk prices were extremely low. They plummeted lower than when my parents were in the dairy business. We couldn't support the family farm, so a decision had to be made. Either we were going to stop dairying or do something different.
Leroy decided what would be different would be to sell directly to the consumer and bring back the old-fashioned glass bottles.
When Leroy said, hey, we're going to use glass bottles like the 1950s, what did wife Barbara think?
Barbara thought that was the most wonderful idea. Absolutely. I'm all about retro. Oh, I'm very sentimental about the way things used to be.
Leroy took us back to the bottling room to take a look.
Well, the glass bottle definitely shines and sets us apart on the dairy shelf. I think the glass bottle makes our milk taste better. I think it gets colder quicker and stays colder. We had to do as much different as the big boys in town to set us apart.
But it was a big risk.
At the very beginning, it was tremendously scary. We didn't think we'd be able to sell the milk of 80 cows, and so we were very nervous. What if we have extra milk? What if people don't like our milk? What if they're not interested in buying from the local farmers? It was betting the family farm, no question about it.
Yeah, now I know where that expression comes from.
Me too.
Well, the bet paid off. In just 3 months, their milk was so popular they had to double the herd. And 3 months after that, double the herd again. Today, they have about 460 cows.
In 2003, they were producing 560 gallons a day. Today, it's up to 2,100 gallons. Sometimes the milk can be from their cow to the store in less than 12 hours.
I never knew that it would work. I'm not used to anything working, you know? I've milked cows for 30 years and that didn't work.
Most things don't work in farming. About 80% of their milk bottles are returned to be recycled. They go back to the Shatto farm to be sanitized and reused.
But the challenge is finding vintage bottle washing machines.
There's not very many of these left around.
How old is this?
This was built in '66. This isn't our first one. Our first one was built in 1954, and we about wore it out.
Where do you find a glass milk?
I'm not going to tell you because I may need another one.
You know, I'd get a spare right now if I were
I
you.
think we've been looking.
The huge success wasn't the only thing that surprised Barbara and Leroy.
A year after we started, we kept getting all these calls, and they want to come out and see the cows, and they want to come out and see how we do this.
A lot of people were interested in coming out. Today, Shatto Farm averages over 80,000 visitors a year.
I love seeing the little people, you know, pet the baby calves or try to milk a cow, and they say, "Oh, that feels yuck." And sometimes they can't get anything come out, and then I say, "Oh, you broke it," you know? And then they really freak out like they thought they really broke it, you know.
You broke my cow.
Yeah, it used to work, and now it don't.
Then it was our turn to go to the cow barn.
And Jann found out how mouthy a newborn can be.
You are not going to get any milk out of my chin.
Next, Rodney was very eager to teach me how to milk a cow. It didn't take me long to figure out what he was up to.
And I'm going to show you how to do this, okay? You want to kind of put your this around the top, and then you go.
Oh, you're going to get me. Okay.
I wasn't quick enough.
All right, I promised him not to attempt the milk squirt again. Now it was time to get down to a serious milking lesson.
And just squeeze like that, just kind of like pulling it out.
Wow.
See?
I knew you were going to do it. He can't help himself.
Well, turnabout is fair play. I may have just learned, but I'm a quick study.
That's easy. You're getting pretty good at it.
I got him.
Let's just say we're grateful that the cow was patient and that we didn't get asked to leave.
But remember, Shatto is the place where milk is fun again.
Coming up, Rodney becomes the big cheese for the afternoon.
My first time to shovel curds.
It's time to man up with Massey. Take it from the hay farmers who already have.
I am absolutely amazed at how much work those tractors get done.
It is really, really easy to operate and handle, and it's so smooth.
The CVT saves me time. You're costing yourself money by not trying it.
We're not just out to change your tractor. We're out to change the game. Go to manupwithmassey.com.
For 110 years, Morton Buildings has served the needs of the American farmer. Today, we continue to construct farm buildings while also offering custom stall barns, workshops, garages, and commercial facilities. From concept through completion, Morton Buildings handles every aspect of your project. Join generations of customers who've discovered the quality and dependability of a Morton building. For more information and to get started on your building project, call 800-447-7436 or visit our website at mortonbuildings.com.
Introducing the world's coolest dad. On the world's fastest lawnmower. Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal. We're at the Shatto Family Dairy in Osborn, Missouri, where they even have a totally restored vintage milk truck.
We've learned how the family's decision to sell their own brand of milk in retro glass bottles saved their farm, but it didn't stop at milk.
Along came butter, regular and flavored, ice cream sandwiches, and cheese. Really Gouda cheese. Leroy took me back to the cheese room. All their cheeses qualify as artisan and homestead because they're made by hand and with milk from their own herd of cows.
Cheese is kind of like you and me, you know, that gets better with age, right? So.
Dave Klein is one of Shatto's cheesemakers. Today, he's making curds and he's going to show me the way.
Rodney, he's already draining the whey.
After draining and raking the cheese, there's about a 2-hour cheddaring process that has to take place.
During the wait, I met up with herdsman Matt Shapler in the milking room.
So I'm going to show you how we're going to milk a cow using our machines, all right?
All right. You know what? My grandpa was a dairy farmer. I think he'd be very proud of me.
All right. The hose actually points to the front, okay?
Wait, the hose what?
This is going to go on the right rear, this to the left rear, this to the left front. Does that make sense?
Did you get that? Because I didn't get that.
This one's going to go on your left rear.
Okay.
This goes on the right rear.
How many do they have?
4.
Hold on. Look at Matt's face. He's definitely going to talk about the lady who didn't know how many they had at the supper table tonight.
Because I only got 2. I wasn't really sure how many she had.
Okay, she's got 4.
Matt didn't give up on me.
So I grabbed this part.
With this hand.
Oh, with this hand?
Yeah, there you go. There.
Oh, wow. Okay, be careful of that. Oh, I got a kink in the hose. Oh, wait, left front.
Right.
What?
Correct, I should say.
Finally, success.
Wow, look at that. Sweet, fresh milk.
From the herd to the curd, the chattering is complete, so it's time for all of us in the cheese-making room to finish our jobs. First, milling the slabs into curd-sized pieces. Man, this is one serious slicing-dicing machine. Then time for some salt and shoveling.
It's my first time to shovel curds.
Next, adding dill, more shoveling, and breaking up any larger pieces by hand. Then it occurred to me, it's time for a taste.
Need salt.
I was kidding. They were perfect, so time to bag them up for the stores.
As you can see on the packaging, they are delicious. 1,000 bags of curds on the wall, 1,000 pounds of curds. Take them down, pass it around. Oops, uh-oh. My first malfunction, I think. If I make another mistake, do we get to eat those?
Sometimes. Depends on how big the mistake is.
If there have been any big mistakes here at the Shatto farm, it certainly doesn't show.
Just look at the awards for both their products and their business.
Including one award that took them to Washington, D.C., where Leroy delivered some of their award-winning milk to a very special man.
He loved our milk, thought it was so cool that we brought him chocolate milk that he was sending us something. So about 4 or 5 days later, I got a big picture of the president drinking the chocolate milk in the Oval Office. Unbelievable.
There's been a tremendous amount of press about the Shatto's success. I think it's safe to say they've become local rock stars.
You know, the neatest part about this whole thing, I milked cows all those years, and nobody ever told me I'd done a good job, or they never told me my milk tasted good. But I tell you, when we started bottling our own milk, and people latched onto it like crazy, people would come up and tell me how much they love what I do, and they love the milk, and I got goosebumps right now. I mean, I had never had that feeling before, like I'd done something right.
Well, we'll be driving down the highway or stopping at a stop sign, and people give us 2 thumbs up. They wave, they go, "Shatto Milk, we love you."
Rodney and I headed to the 64th Street Hy-Vee grocery store in Kansas City to track down some of those loyal fans.
I tried to be a little sneaky as I looked for folks putting Shatto milk in their baskets.
I'm thinking we're lucky nobody called security on you.
Shh. Here comes a Shatto customer.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
I'm Rodney Miller, and I'm sorry I was stalking her. But I noticed you bought Shatto milk.
We have 3 young kids, and we like to buy the more natural type of milk for them to drink.
Does the milk taste different?
Oh yeah, the milk is delicious. It's almost like drinking a shake if you have the flavored kind. We usually just buy the white, but we do buy the flavored for special occasions, and it's like drinking a shake.
Now, back to more sneaky spying.
I noticed you bought Shatto milk, so why do you buy Shatto milk?
Oh, I think it tastes better.
Can you describe the taste?
Well, I buy only skim milk. I think that it just plain tastes better than most other whole milks.
Boy, that's a pretty good endorsement.
Rodney's covered the customers, so I tracked down store manager Lee Smith to ask about Shatto milk.
How well does it do compared to all the other milks?
I sell just as much Shatto milk out of these 2 doors as I do the 2 national brands. So I was surprised. Actually, it shocked me. Actually, I had to look at it twice.
Lee was also shocked earlier this year when Shatto fans found out about a special edition flavor.
They knew the truck was going to show up at 10 o'clock. They were here at the doors. waiting for it.
How long did it take to sell out of that chocolate cherry?
It didn't make it to the shelf.
It didn't make it to the shelf.
Didn't make it to the shelf.
Rodney and I couldn't wait another second for our first taste of Shatto milk. So back at the farm, they have us set up with 7 flavors to sample.
And the only thing I need to know is which is your favorite.
There was banana.
Oh, cheers, sorry.
Cheers.
Orange cream.
That is really good. Strawberry. It's like a big bowl of strawberry ice cream.
Oh, cotton candy.
Down the hatch.
That definitely tastes like cotton candy. This is what I've been waiting for.
Oh, root beer.
Here, just give me that.
I know, here, open your mouth. That is like a root beer float. This is chocolate.
This is Leroy's chocolate. You know, that's the best chocolate I think I've ever had.
Can we try the coffee? Oh, that's like mocha madness. I know my favorite.
Which one? The orange?
Yes, I love this. Tell Barb your favorite.
Definitely the root beer.
There are so many great memories that we'll take away from our day at Shatto.
Do we have milk mustaches yet?
We might. Okay.
Coming up next, it's time to wake up the vines. Never heard of this tradition? Neither had we, but we'll never forget it. Stay tuned.
Heston. Over the past 65 years, it's been our pleasure to bring the world's best hay tools and the world's best rodeo to the world's best farmers. What could be better than that? Heston, we know hay.
There's a place in the heart of America where journalism was first taught and is reinvented every day, where feeding the world and sustaining its energy are top priorities, where medical discoveries improve the lives of people and their best friends. At the University of Missouri, collaboration drives innovation. We call it the Mizzou Advantage.
Introducing the world's best neighbor. On the world's fastest lawnmower. Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal.
We have gone from Osborn, Missouri to Tiger, Georgia, population 407.
And you know, Jann, I've been raising crops my whole life, and I've never had to wake any up.
Well, you know, Rodney, from what I hear, you have been missing out on a very fun tradition.
The tradition began in the heart of young John Ezzard, who grew up on the family farm in Tiger, and decades later moved back, giving this farm a new start with a new crop, grapes. Today we join Tiger Mountain Vineyards in saying goodbye to last year's vines and celebrating the new budding crop. They call it the awakening of the vines.
Oh, they started the
Oh,
fire.
they got the fire going.
Good. It'll be warm when we get down there.
We're talking Tiger Mountain, baby. Where is Rodney? Rodney! Come on! Come on!
I knew Jann was gonna try to make me dance.
I don't know about Jann.
But I'm feeling a little underdressed to dance with these ladies.
Come on! Come on! Come on!
She just wouldn't let up.
Okay, ladies, let's all dance around Rodney. We gotta get him dancing.
Wait, I hardly know you.
You are awesome! Oh my gosh, how long have you been doing this?
8 years.
8 years. Why do you do it?
It's so much fun.
I can tell.
This whole awakening of the vines concept, how'd you come up with that?
Well, when we first started, we were trying to figure out how are we going to get people up here. So I read in the New York Times that in Eastern Europe, where everybody has a little vineyard, they dance in the vineyards and roast sausages for centuries to wake the buds in spring. And we said, okay, we can do that. And then we found the Feed and Seed Marching Abominables. We saw them dance in Atlanta and invited them up. So this is their 11th year, and they just make the party. And John embellished it with the burning of the winter prunings.
Oh, that's great.
So that's a new old tradition.
I love that tradition. You're from Australia.
Correct.
But you're in Tiger, Georgia.
I know it's a bit of an upside down kind of fiasco there. Yeah.
Most people do not associate Georgia fine wine. How would you tell people they're wrong?
They're going to have to come here and try it.
And today with the awakening, that was pretty crazy if you've never seen that whole thing.
It is. It's a lot of fun. We like to give back because they are the heart and soul of what we do here. We throw a big party for them twice a year. We have the awakening and then harvest, where we invite our members to come back and pick grapes and be part of what goes into the bottle.
So has it been a good day?
No, Jann. Has it been a good day, Mike?
Yeah, that was impressive. We'll give you points for
You
that
haven't
one.
heard that one before.
What is it like to be the 6th generation of this family farm?
It's really soulful and heartful. This place means so much to me.
Isn't it funny how we all kind of come back and we start doing we love what our parents love eventually? It may take us 30 or 40 years, but...
I do. I think there's a cycle where you end up coming back to where you come from. Where do I come from? Everybody wants to feel that.
John, tell me about your relationship with the other John.
John and I went to high school together. We started in the 10th grade at Athens High School. We went to college together. We went at the same time. John went to Denver, practiced medicine, came back, opened the vineyard. And about 5 years ago, Marilyn and I bought half the vineyard. And have been partners with him since then.
So when your John came home and said, hey, you know, I want to go into the wine business, what did you think?
I said, let me think about it.
Then what?
Then I said, oh, it sounds fun.
Good for you.
And has it been fun?
It has been great. We've had a wonderful ride. It's been real fun.
So tell me about the tradition of the awakening of the vine.
Well, it's just an excuse to have a party.
So this looks like a painting. Describe where we are.
Well, you're standing here in one of my favorite places, which is between our red barn, which is an old dairy barn, and our home in the vineyards. We moved back here to John's family farm in the 1990s. John said this farm's been cultivated for hundreds of years and we're going to grow something. And so we didn't want to grow corn and beans.
But I just decided that I wanted to try something new, and I decided, well, I'm going to plant grapes here. Everybody says you can't grow grapes here.
Yeah, I thought we'd be pedaling out of the back of the pickup. I really did.
And so I decided I'd plant them anyway, and they've done quite well.
The soil here, is it specific to this area? Or?
Pretty much so. It's mostly degenerated granite because these mountains are solid granite. It's really not much clay to it.
A lot of people have dreams of doing something or doing something different, and they just never make that step.
I knew that John wanted to get back to this farm. It's part of his soul. So we were able to sort of save a family farm.
Well, we've certainly awakened the vines at Tiger Mountain today. But really, it's all about the joy of friends, of laughter and dancing, and the heart of one boy whose destiny was to come back home and bring life to this farm again.
And for all of us, it's just been a little miracle in this tiny little place in the Appalachians.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Small Town Big Deal.
You know, after visiting the Shatto Milk Company, we saw all their fans. Well, now we are now fans as well.
2 more. And wasn't that a heartwarming story about Barb and Leroy saving the family farm?
And the same thing at Tiger Mountain Winery, the 6th generation there doing the same thing.
And wow, wasn't Awakening of the Vines really cool?
Never seen anything like that before, ever. If you have a cool story from your town, please go on our website and tell us. We might be in your town next.
I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jann Carl.
Join us again next week when once again we celebrate the great stories from across America.
I may be a city girl, but, you know, my grandpa was a dairy farmer.
Fun is had by one and all.
She's like, you two are ridiculous. Look at that. Okay, my new coat, that's all I'm saying.